Check, check, check. Two, 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 three. So, getting into my great grandmother and her royal Swiss heritage. Royal-esque in Switzerland is considered royalty. In America, he was considered, maybe the sole contributor to domestic terrorism that swept the nation from 1965 to 1995, and mass distribution of Schedule 1 narcotics, so that it may have not been considered illegal in 65. By 69, it was certainly outlawed. The lysergic acid diethylamine 25. And speaking of, there's a sort of a sister chemical that Albert may have noticed or looked at, but not been honored for inventing or synthesizing back in 19, Sandoz in Switzerland. 1P LSD, that's 1-propanol lysergic acid diethylamine, is unscheduled as far as federal law is concerned, but you might want to check with your county. Is that they might have the ability to steal it from the post office upon inspection before delivered to your mailbox. So I'm lucky in New London County. I bought some on eBay. I ordered it. It showed up, and everything was groovy, dude, for about a quarter sheet. And then I haven't been able to find it on the nets besides quasincolor.com. As far as a reputable source for 1-propanol lysergic acid diethylamine, or any kind of acid, man, or any kind of anything to make everything groovy for about a quarter sheet, as far as an unscheduled, which is not breaking the law, but 100% not even a ticket, man, not even a warning. It's it's not even a citation. It's nothing. It's the thing is they said be careful. It's not approved by the FDA for human consumption. Cricket is about all they says. It's not a misdemeanor or anything. So, but over 18 is needed to possess. And okay, moving along from that, my great grandmother, right, with her riches, or being held in Brent's arms, on GDP home movies, just a month alive, and etc. With the John the Bulls and the John Lennons. Well, besides being a agent on the bureau for 40 or 50 years, there was his last name was Lennon, like John Lennon, and he was John Lennon's first cousin, and he was Bob Weir's first cousin. Shepherd was his other last name, from Scotland. So he's a Scottish Shepherd, a Scottish Lennon, and he does the bureau. That's success, yes, but did it grant him fame? No. Maybe 1987 and 1995 there was a little bit of a cult something about it, but he was working man then, and probably would have arrested whoever is just trying to blow his cover while he's hunting down serial killers mostly, instead of chasing aliens like he sees on the television shows. So there was that, and then there was I'm sure I'm related to a little bit more than I can talk about just now as far as real and wind. Besides those few things, I mentioned that my great grandmother, Phoebe Hoffman, was in touch with the Trumps and the Hiltons through Manhattan, say 1950 something, to Manhattan, say 1980 something, or 1990 something, and then of course she watched and monitored her works and progresses that was involved with the Trumps and the Hiltons, and all throughout being a great grandmother. She wanted to see where her work was going. And although she spent her life savings through retirement, ages 65 to 100, I guess she just barely made 100 years of age, or she was 99 and some months, or a couple months. You'll have to excuse me. I'm on Verlers. They're a prescription sedative, adult strength antipsychotic, and I have been in for 4,100 consecutive days. Last we were doing was shooting the breeze with Horatio Sun and Opal Group at the Mardi Gras tie-dye in front of the Rose Garden set, with all sorts of gems and that's quartz, the clear quartz, the crystal quartz and set. So we were playing a dozen games, and there was Paris Hilton, right, and Ivanka Trump, who I've come within a 10-foot pole, a handshake, or flesh to flesh with. The little black book, yes, doesn't necessarily there's neighbors around the shoe set, but at least I got those two out, and now I think instead of an 8, I'm pushing up to a 10. So I'm gonna go ahead and step on inside. Say, in here you'll notice there's the GDP 2003 tapestry, and this is a little bit that I picked up in in Niantic downtown. It's a 2003. I've had since 2003. My nanny was Gladys Tanaquidgeon, born 1898, revered Mohegan medicine woman. Um, since probably 1996 when they came into their sovereign nation, sovereign lands, and had a little gambling hall set, and they really became uh, entitled with public notoriety. And their whole thing was there's an endangered human race that they were sticking up for, and they needed money to help procreate or keep that race alive somehow. So she lived with I lived with her from 1990 to 2006, and for 3 years after the bombs, we slept under this tapestry on and off. Also, that year, my grandpa had passed away, who was also her first husband back in, say, 1950 something. So, um, he had three wives. He married Gladys, found out she was barren and sterile. So they divorced, and he married again. She passed away before she could put out. He married a third wife. She put out a gaggle of children, and then divorced. And so he fell back into his first wife's arms as she was still alive. So now he was born in say 19. He was. Let's see. We'll talk about Gladys. She was younger than his ma and older than him, probably about in between. And she was hanging around the house and the county and ting and do because my great grandmother Sarah on my Swiss side, on my Swedish side, was born in 1890, and 1890 and 1898 are pretty close to each other when it's the 1900s or pushing the year 2000, yo. So they were good friends, and so there was that, and then there was checking out at about 7. It says I'm losing my voice from these crap tiny cigars, and I'm asking for money. I got a GoFundMe account out there. It's GoFundMe.com/Grateful dash dead dash get dash me dash healthy. It's got the same PSA about Risperidone and Vraylar on it that I've been going over and over with here on the tubes, and I'm gonna check out say about 7:30 or less. So set. Uh, 3, 2, 1.